The sun was already dipping toward the horizon, painting the apartment walls in warm orange tones, when an unexpected doorbell rang. Andrew, just back from an exhausting meeting, hadn't even loosened his tie yet. His wife Emily, 6 months pregnant, slowly headed toward the door, absent-mindedly straightening the folds of her loose home dress. Standing on the threshold was Margaret, a stately woman with perfectly styled graying hair and a sharp, penetrating gaze in her brown eyes. In her hands, she held a large bag from an upscale boutique, and on her face played that very smile Emily had learned to dread over 2 years of marriage. "Sweetheart," Margaret exclaimed, slipping into the apartment with surprising agility for her age. "I just happened to walk past a baby store. And guess what I saw?" Without waiting for an answer, she began pulling her finds from the bag. A bright red onesie with gold buttons landed on the coffee table. Just imagine the photos. Followed by a huge, remote-controlled excavator. All modern kids need to develop fine motor skills. Emily felt everything inside her tighten. Just yesterday, she and Andrew had spent hours picking out a simple, practical onesie in neutral tones. And as for toys, the nursery already looked like a toy store, thanks to her mother-in-law's weekly casual visits. "Oh my goodness," Margaret suddenly stopped, as if hitting an invisible wall. "Why are your curtains so dark? That's practically a crime against a developing organism. The baby needs sunlight, vitamin D. I just read an article." She marched decisively to the window, casting a critical eye on the furniture layout as she passed. "And this setup? Andrew, you absolutely need to move the couch to the other wall. I saw it in a feng shui magazine." "Mum, we're perfectly comfortable with the current arrangement." Emily tried to intervene, but her mother-in-law seemed not to hear her, speaking only to her son. "Your room was too dark when you were little too. And look at you, nearsighted. And these pillows, they're synthetic. I'll bring new ones tomorrow, hypoallergenic." "Mum, we can manage on our own. Stop interfering." Andrew's voice cracked like a whip. Exhaustion and years of unsolicited advice came pouring out in his words. A heavy silence fell over the room. Margaret stood frozen, her mouth slightly open, her face rapidly losing color, and her hands, still clutching the onesie, visibly trembling. I just wanted what's best." Her voice suddenly turned quiet and broken. With mechanical motions, she packed the items back into the bag, placed it on the cabinet, and headed for the door. She paused for a second in the doorway, as if expecting her son to stop her, but Andrew remained silent, staring at the floor. The door closed without a goodbye.